Tea. No, I definitely need a tea. That's good. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a calmed down version of a New Year's Eve look for you guys. I hope you all have a wonderful New Year's and don't get too drunk. I know I definitely won't be. I used the Jaclyn Hill palette to create this eye look for you guys. I hope you enjoy it, and if you'd like to see how I create this look, then please keep watching. Hello guys, I am well aware that I look a little bit crazy right now with my pineapple hair and my half face. Yeah, it's just not looking good. In other news, I moved into my house. Yay! I moved into my house last weekend, and needless to say, I'm very, very excited. Apologies for the echo, I know you can probably hear it. Apologies for the plain, boring background. My door looks absolutely lovely. But yeah, so today I'm going to be doing a New Year's Eve, but a subtle kind of New Year's Eve look. You see loads and loads of glam looks where I've got like plastered face, and don't get me wrong, I am going to do a plastered face, just not quite as much on my eyes. I'm going to be making them a little bit more subtle, natural, yet still glam and glittery. Yeah. So I've already done my brows for you because that takes me absolutely ages, and I didn't want this video to be half an hour long, which it usually is. I've also primed my eyes. I've used the Maybelline Fit Me concealer with the Maybelline Fit Me matte and poreless powder on top. So I'm going to zoom you in and then start with eyeshadows. Okay, so for this New Year's Eve kind of look, I'm going to be taking this palette here. I'm going to be using the Jaclyn Hill Morphe palette for this look. So unfortunately, when I got this palette, I didn't actually receive the card with the shade names in it. I was going to write them on the palette itself, but I just think they would take away the loveliness of the palette. So I didn't end up doing that. But I'm going to start off on my crease using this shade here. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on a Real Techniques Deluxe Crease brush. I'm just going to be running this along my crease. Really pigmented, which is great. I am using a little bit and then building up on top though, just because I'm not quite sure how prominent I want the eyeshadows to look today. Bringing it right into the inner corner just to give a better contrast. Okay, so now that I've got it how I want it, I'm going to repeat the steps on the other eye. And if you're wondering whilst you're watching this, I have no idea what this is. It's not a spot, it's kind of like a albino mole. I don't even know if that's actually a thing. But yeah, it come up a few days ago and it's not a spot and I cannot get rid of it. I have no idea what it is. Maybe I should get it checked out. Maybe it's just something that decided to just plant itself on my eyeball. Okay, so now that shade is on, I'm going to be taking another brush. If I can find the brush. I use so much of the red tones and the kind of warm burgundy kind of shades that today I just kind of want to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to be using the brown shades. So back in with the Morphe Jaclyn Hill palette, I'm going to be taking this shade here. Not quite sure what this brush is called. I actually got it for Christmas and they're absolutely stunning. But if you've got these brushes, then amazing. If you haven't, not to worry, just use any kind of smaller blending brush, that'll be fine. Taking that chocolatey shade and I'm just going to be applying that kind of where I just applied the transition shade, but I'm going to be focusing it a little bit more in the crease. And again, bringing it right into the inner corner. This shade is actually looking a little bit red, but maybe I can go over it with a different shade and get the more chocolate shades in there. Okay, so back in with that original blending brush, and I'm just going to make sure that there's no harsh lines, and I'm just going to blend it all together. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this look a little bit more chocolatey now, because I'm not quite liking the red pinkiness of the eye. So I'm going to be taking another Real Techniques brush. This is the Essential Crease brush, and it's kind of similar to the one that I just used, but obviously I want a clean one that's not got the reddy kind of shade on it. It's just a really soft kind of blending brush, and I'm going to be taking, let's see, I'm going to be taking this shade just here. I know it's a little bit dark, but I'm hoping that I can use a little bit of it and it'll actually be alright. So I'm going to be taking a little bit of that shade, literally just dabbing my brush into it, and then I'm kind of going to be running this just where I placed the previous colour. So just along the crease and then up to the brow bone. And again, just building the colour up till I get it how I want it. Yeah, that's looking a little bit more chocolatey, which is how I wanted it. It's a bit of a funny story actually how I kind of thought about doing this video today, because I was just sitting, you know, in my new home last night, and I was eating the new Lindt chocolates, you know, the actually I've got them here. Not that I've been eating them or anything like that, but you know. So I've actually got these, and they are so good. I think I've eaten 1 or 2, maybe 3 of them, and I absolutely love them. So I was kind of sitting there and I thought, I haven't actually done a look that's really chocolatey and really kind of chocolatey and chocolatey. So yeah, so I thought that I would do something along those lines. I'm still actually not quite sure exactly how and what I'm going to be doing. I'm kind of just winging it today. Okay, so now that I've stuck quite a lot of eyeshadow on, I'm going to be going ahead with the same blending brush that we used before, and again just blending that all together, just making sure that there's no harsh lines. I haven't done any foundation or face makeup yet, purely for the fact that I could just be a lot quicker and I could just be really messy with the eyeshadow, which I am anyway, obviously. But if there's any fallout, then it's fine. I can just wipe that away and then do my face makeup after. So that is my plan for today. So next shade, with that same brush that I just used, I'm going to be taking a slightly darker colour in the palette, which will be this one. And now I'm going to be using this one. So it's not quite the black, which is down here. It's kind of in between that and the black. Keep my eye open and then just kind of put the eyeshadow where I want it to be, and then stretch my eye and blend it out after. Okay, and then repeat the steps, 1 dunk in the black and do the same on the other eye. So this is actually looking a lot darker than I planned. I was going to be doing a subtle look, but I don't think it's actually turning out that subtle. But maybe it'll be a bit different when we cut the crease. Maybe. So again, I'm just blending them all together. Blend, blend, blend as usual. Now time to cut the crease. Okay, so to cut the crease, I'm going to be taking my Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Concealer, which is this one just here. I'm going to be taking a little bit of this and just popping it on my lid, just like that. And then I'm going to be taking a flat-headed brush. Again, this is from the brand that I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm just going to call it my glittery brushes. That's what I'm going to call it. So I'm just going to be taking this brush here. I did use this to carve out my eyebrows, and because it's flat, it works really, really well. So I'm just going to be taking this and then cutting my crease. I'm going to be keeping this quite low. I'm not doing a really, really high cut crease today, just because the only reason why I'm doing this essentially is just so that the shimmery shades have more of a base to stick to. I'm not actually doing it where I want a really, really precise line. So I'm just going to be kind of keeping it right on the lid rather than up to the crease. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to be setting it straight away. So I'm going to be taking the Real Techniques medium shadow brush, which is this one just here. And I'm going to be taking the light pale shade in the Jaclyn Hill palette, which is the one just in the corner here. So I'm just going to be running that just along where we put the concealer, just to matte that back a little bit. I'm not actually applying that much eyeshadow on top here, just because I do want it a little bit sticky, just so that the shimmer sticks on that little bit better. So now that that is all prepped, I'm going to be doing the same on the other eye. So I did end up going a little bit too high on this eye, but it's not a problem because we're going to be applying more eyeshadow in that area anyways. So girl is not bothered. And then again, back in with the medium shadow brush and just matting that back a little bit. Okay, so now what I'm going to use is I'm going to be taking one of the shimmer shades in the palette, which is just this one down here. I'm just going to be applying this with my finger. I think all shimmers actually apply so much better with your finger anyway. So I'm going to be popping this just over where we done the cut crease. So I have a little tip actually, tip of the day. So I'm going to be taking my Sleek Makeup highlighter palette, and which is this one just here. And I'm going to be using this shade here in the palette, and again with my finger I'm just going to be taking a little bit of that, applying it on top of the just shimmer shade that we just used. Bam! And that just brightens it up a little bit. You can do this with any shimmer shade, it actually does look really, really pretty. If I used a blue the other day and then I popped this on top and it just looked like Mermaid God. It was absolutely stunning. And I'm going to be using the smaller shader brush that we used before and just dabbing it into the black shade in the palette, and I'm just going to be running this ever so slightly just above where we cut the crease. Like so. Same on the other eye. Okay, so now I'm going to be taking my Sleek eyeliner pencil. This is just Noir 289. going to be running this just along my lash line. This is a really, really creamy kind of liner pencil. You literally just have to dab it on like that, and it's so pigmented. You really just don't need to harshly kind of rub it onto your eye, which is really, really nice. I do feel as though throughout the day it's going to slide around my eyes though, which obviously isn't what I want, but we shall see how it actually plans out. Okay, so now that that's on, what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be taking a small angled brush. This is the QVS 3 detail brush. And I'm going to be taking a little bit of the black shade in the Morphe palette. And I'm just going to be dabbing this along where we placed the eyeliner. I'm just going to be dragging the liner out a little bit just to smoke it out. I don't really want a lot in the inner corner. I kind of want to leave that quite light and make the outside darker. So just building up with that. So just building up with the eyeshadow in the outer corner, and I'm just going to smoke the eyeliner out. Okay, so that's it for the eyes for now. I'm going to zoom you out, carry on with the face, and then go back to the eyes at the end. So I'm just going to go and wet my beauty blender, and I'll be right back. I'm back. Okay, so now that my beauty blender has tripled in size, I have actually primed my face already today. So I have moisturised, I have primed. I used the Collection 2000 primer. I don't usually use primers, but I've heard quite good things about this, and it is a mattifying one, so hopefully it will work. So that is just this right here. So I've used that and popped it all over my face, so my face is now ready and prepped and primed and ready to go. So the foundation that I'm going to be using today is a mixture. I'm going to be taking the Collection Illuminating Touch Foundation, which is this one here. I'm also going to be using that with the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Foundation. So I'm just going to mix the two together on the back of my hand. I'm taking more of the Superstay foundation because that actually is the right shade for me. But I just like mixing it with the Collection 2001 because it's more of a concealer consistency. So it's got a higher coverage. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm just going to be taking my beauty blender and just applying this all over my face. Okay, so it's not super coverage, so I'm just going to be going ahead with a little bit more and just seeing if I can layer it up a little bit. Okay, so it is actually quite good. The more that I use it, the more I'm actually liking it. It is quite buildable, to be fair, so obviously it depends on your own personal preference as to how much coverage that you want, but girl likes the coverage. Okay, so for concealer underneath my eyes, I'm going to be taking the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Concealer again, and I'm just going to be dotting this underneath my eyes, well, swiping it underneath my eyes. And then again with my beauty blender, just blending this in. So to set the underneath my eyes, I'm going to be using the NYX Loose Powder, which is this one just here. And on my beauty blender, I'm just going to be running this along underneath my eyeballs. I have no idea how people do that one wipe thing. Like, who can do that? Ugh. Oh, better, better. No, I cannot bake. That is something obviously I cannot do. Whilst that is setting, I'm going to be doing mascara. So for mascara, I'm going to be taking the Sleek mascara, which is just here. It just says Sleek Makeup Full Fat Lash Mascara, which is this one. And I like this because it's got a funny little wand. It's like an ordinary thin wand, and then it's got the dinosaur tail looking bit on the end. So I'm just going to apply a coat of this. Just a quick question, does anybody else open their mouth when they do mascara? Does anybody else go? Because I do that all of the time. I cannot keep my mouth closed when I'm doing mascara. It just does not happen at all. It's like when I open my mouth, it stretches my eye. I'm not sure if that's actually true. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I cannot do it. If you are offended by the sight of my mouth, then don't carry on watching. Now that my mascara is looking how I want it, I'm going to wipe away. Let me do that again. I'm going to wipe away that terrible, awful, never going to bake again bake under my eyes. Okay. I see why you're bake. Wiped away the excess. I just love the feel of this brush. Does anybody else get any brushes, and even if they've got makeup on or not, they just kind of go, Okie dokes, so I'm just going to go and continue with my eyeballs. So on the shading brush that we used before, this is the Essential Crease brush from Real Techniques. I'm going to be taking the chocolate shade that we used before and just run this along my bottom lash line. Like so. And then I'm going to be taking the, I absolutely hate using this brush because I will never ever say it right first time, ever. So I'm not going to use that brush actually because I cannot find it, which is great. So on my glittery range brushes, I will find out where they're from and where I got them from, and I will put them in the description box below. So if you do want to get these brushes, then you can have a look in the description box. So this is just a flat-headed brush. And I'm going to be taking the black shade in the palette, and I'm just going to be popping this really, really closely to my lash line. Like that. And on the other eye. And then again with my Sleek mascara, I'm just going to be taking a little bit and popping this on my bottom lashes. Okay, Okay, so onto the rest of my face. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer in the shade 15, and I'm just going to be popping this on my blemishes. And then again with my beauty blender, just blending that in. I don't actually have any blemishes on my top lip. I just like having a full coverage top lip. Don't know why. Do not ask me. Just something that I like. A little bit on my nose and a hell of a lot on my forehead. Whatever concealer I have, I kind of just blend it around the rest of my face. I never really concentrate concealer where it's actually supposed to be, which is why I will never point conceal ever in my life, ever. So now that I have concealed onto contouring, as I like to call it, and for this I'm going to be taking the Real Techniques contour brush, and I'm going to be using a really old bronzer, but I don't actually tend to go out and buy bronzers. It's just something that I just don't tend to replace, like, ever. So I'm going to be taking the NewYearsEve Makeup Academy Sun Kissed Bronze, and I'm just going to be using this to contour. And then I'm going to be taking a smaller brush. So on a clean brush, I'm going to be taking another one of the Deluxe Crease brushes from Real Techniques, using the same bronzer and just applying this down the sides of my nose. If you guys want me to do a contouring video, then let me know and I shall do that for you. So now that I'm done with that, I'm going to use a little bit of blusher. So on the Real Techniques buffing brush, I'm going to be taking the Collection, actually, I'm going to be taking the Collection Blusher Pearls. So these are, I cannot show you them because I've got about 3-4 pounds left, the rest is just powder. I'm just going to be taking a little bit of this and just applying it on the apples of my cheeks. I like this shade because I feel like it goes really well with the bronzer that I used underneath, and it's really good for winter and summer, I think, and it's really cheap. I mean, it's from Collection, so it's probably about £3, something stupid like that. So who needs a $60 blusher? Nobody. And I'm just going to be powdering the rest of my face. I'm going to be using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte Polish powder, and I'm going to be taking this on the Real Techniques multitask brush. So I'm just going to be using this just to mattify the rest of my face. And I'm just going to be running this down my neck as well, so I don't get those double chin creases. So now that's done, I am almost finished, guys. I'm going to be highlighting. So for this, I'm actually going to be doing something a little bit different to what I usually do. So I'm going to be taking the Barry M Liquid Chrome Highlighter Drops and just popping these onto the heights of my cheeks, my nose and my cupid's bow. And it may only seem like I'm using a little bit, but trust me, once you blend these in, you literally just need a tad of these. So then I'm just going to be blending that in just with my finger. Blend that a little bit on my nose. And then on top of that, I'm going to be taking my usual Revolution Goddess of Love Triple Baked Highlighter with the highlighter brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just going to be popping a little bit, or maybe a lot, of this just on top of where I just placed the highlighter drops. A little bit of highlighter as well on my middle finger and just applying it to the inner corners of my eyes to make them pop. Okay, so for lips, I was going to be doing something a little bit more wild. I was going to be doing quite a dark lip, but I actually changed my mind. I'm going to be using my normal lip combo, which is the Bare Minerals Butter Nude. What is this? My Bare Minerals Buttercream Lip Gloss, and I'm just going to be applying this, and then on top I'm going to be using the Clinique Eclat Minute. No idea what that says. So first I'm just going to be applying the Bare Minerals lip cream. Okay, so I actually changed my mind. I'm not going to be applying the gloss on top because I am quite shimmery. So the last step, which I always usually miss out, is I'm just going to be lining my top waterline with the Collection, again, Intense Colour Black Eyeliner Pencil. And that just helps to make the eyelashes look a little bit more thicker. And there we have it. This is the finished look. Very sultry, very subtle, but still a really glam kind of going out look for New Year's. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and I'll see you on my next video. So I'm really sorry for the lighting of this video, guys. I'm not actually set up my lighting at all, so I'm really sorry for the quality of this video. I just realised how fuzzy it was in the background and how dark it actually got. I mean, it's only 4 o'clock and it's getting really dark outside, so unfortunately I've actually lost the outside light, which is really frustrating, but I will show you a little bit of a close-up as to what the finished look actually looks like. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial, and give it a thumbs up if you did, and please subscribe to my channel. I'd really appreciate it. But yeah, love to all of you as usual, and I'll see you on my next video. Love. Okay guys, hello, welcome back to my channel. No, that's not what I want to say. So I've already done my brows for you guys. I've already primed. So I'm going to whiz you in. So it's just a really soft kind of loose blend. Steph Arias or Steph Howard. Oh my god, I don't actually know my sister's handle. Anyway, yeah, I will stick her Instagram handle in the description box below and follow her because she is absolutely amazing. So if I open my eye, place the eyeshadow where I want it and where you'd want it to, where you'd want it to see. That took me forever to say, jeez. I'm going to be keeping this quite low. I'm not going to be transferring it right up. A little bit too high on this eye, but it's not. So I'm going to be taking the highlighting. Right. So now that is done. Right. So now that that's done, I'm going to be taking the previous. So now that's done, I'm going to be using the smaller shimmer. So now that's done. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm not going to be applying too much of E, as I have a confession to make. So I just wiped off my foundation with a sweet wrapper. If anybody else does that, great.